بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. بعد. So today inshallah what I would do, I'll go back over the surf because we are getting into more verbs and the usage of verbs. As a second, who people in this class? Yeah. The uses of verbs. So just to familiarize ourselves with how it's used, I'll go back over the surf. Not in great detail, but applying some of the rules that we already have in the same table that we have here. So firstly, right now we're on chapter 4. Alright. On chapter 4, I need to go to page 23 right there. Alright. And as you can see, we have a few verbs here. For example, we have the word yanamu. I'm going to use the pen. We have the word yanamu. So yanamu, as we know, is the male version of saying he sleeps. He sleeps. Alright. So yanamu, now we're going to put it through the table that we have here. So we have yaf'alu, yaf'alani. What we're going to do, just for the sake of ease and simplicity, we are only using the verbs that we're going to be using in the chapter thus far. So thus far we're using stuff like yaf'alu, taf'alu, taf'alin, we're using that as well, and af'alu. Alright, so we're just going to focus on this first column here. Alright, this first column here. Alright, a way to make it easier. So this first column here, as you can see.
What pages are in the Bayna Yadayk textbook?
No, this is not the Bayna Yadayk textbook. This is in the surf PDF that I sent. So it have a surf PDF and it have another PDF that I sent, which is it says gift for people who study Arabiyyah Bayna Yadayk.
It says gift.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I could send it again, inshallah. Let's see. Let me see. Markaz. Alright. Documents. Surf book. And this one, I believe. So we have this one here. So the first one is the surf book. Here, I'll send it into the group again.
It'll be very difficult for me to pull down 3 tablets right now because I'm using the phone for the screen and
it's too small?
I think I had imported all of the PDFs that they sent us into my tablet, okay. And the app that I used to read it, right? But is it the verbs?
Yeah, it's the verbs.
Is it the one that?
It's the one with the verbs. But if you want, you could follow on the is your phone too small? You could follow on the phone right now, like you could see it.
Oh, I need reading glasses, so I will try my best to follow.
No problem. I'll zoom it up as close as possible, inshallah. Alright, so something happened there. Okay, so we have here. Let's see. Let me get back onto the page. That's past tense. One. All right, nice. So we have here. Oh, it's turn up changing. Just a second. Discard. Right, there we go. Alright, so we have here the word yanamu. As you can see, yanamu is one of the first verbs that we have in this chapter, right? Saying he sleeps. So, coming up here, yanamu. And we have a list of verbs here on the side. We have yaf'alu, which is in that same sirah, is in that same formula of yanamu. So, right, so we look at it like yanamu, which means he sleeps. If we put yanamu in this other sirah here, which is taf'alu, it's saying she sleeps, right? She sleeps. So yanamu, he sleeps. In the same way as yanamu yaf'alu. Tanamu taf'alu. She sleeps, right? Tanamu taf'alu again, but this taf'alu here is for anta. Anta. Alright? And this one here is for anti. Alright? And this one is for ana. Alright? This one is for here. And this one is for huwa. Right? So looking at these verbs here, we have this first word, as I said, we have the word yanamu. And yanamu is going to be put into this column here. This column that we're looking at right here. This column right here have a list of verbs. You're seeing yaf'alu, taf'alu, taf'alu, taf'alin, and af'alu. Right? These verbs now, as we said, if we put the word yanamu and we convert it to make it look like these verbs here, because the nahwiyin, the grammarians, they normally use the word fa'ala, yaf'alu, if'al as their standard to go back to. So when you're going to put a word, you want it to look like this word, the word af'alu. So for example, we have the word yanamu. Yanamu looks like yaf'alu, right? And then we have tanamu, which is with ta, which will represent taf'alu, right? And we're following that same style. Taf'alu again, but taf'alu here is for anta. Taf'alin is for anti, and af'alu is for ana. Yaf'alu means he does. Taf'alu means she does. Taf'alu again, this taf'alu here is different. Not in the way it's written, but in what it means and how it's used. Taf'alu here means anta, you do. Taf'alin means she does, and af'alu means I do. Alright, so in that same style, you're gonna say yanamu, he sleeps. Tanamu, she sleeps. Tanamu, you sleep, male. You sleep, male. Tanamin, you sleep, female. And anamu, I sleep. Right? Let's try another one. We have the word yastayqidu. Yastayqidu. Right? Yastayqidu means he awakes or he wakes up. Okay? And we have the word yaf'alu. Like same style again. Yastayqidu represents yaf'alu. Then we have tastayqidu with the ta here. Tastayqidu, which represents taf'alu. She wakes up. Then we have again taf'alu, but this word here is not, it doesn't mean she, it means you, male, even though it's written exactly the same. And likewise, tastayqidu is going to be written exactly the same like how she awakes was written. You're going to say she awakes is tastayqidu, and you awake, female, you wake up, is you awake, male, you awake, male تستيقظ. Same writing, same style, same, it's written the same way, but its usage is different. That's all it is. Its usage is different. And when you use it more and more, you would realize, and the first time you hear it, you hear, okay, why the two words written the same way? You know, that's the first question that's going to come to your mind. Why written the same way? One is male and one is female. Why written the same way? One means she and one means you. Why written the same way? Believe me, with usage and with reading, you would realize, you would be able to identify and to distinguish that this one here is relating to she and this one here is relating to you, male. Next, we have the word تفعلين. If we put the word يستيقظ in that form, it will be تستيقظين, which means you awake, female, like you awake, like you're speaking to your wife or something like that, like you wake up, you're awake, like that. And أستيقظ, which is I awake, right? Like I wake up. Like أستيقظ عند الفجر, I wake up at Fajr. Right? For example, let's put some in some sentences now, so we can make better use of it. We will use the other word يذهب, because يذهب is a very common, easy word. We use this word here. We have the word يذهب, and if we put it in this form, يذهب يفعل, right? So محمد يذهب إلى المسجد, for example. محمد يذهب إلى المسجد. Next one, تفعل. تفعل would be تذهب. عائشة تذهب إلى المطبخ. عائشة تذهب إلى المطبخ. Aisha goes to the kitchen. Alright, next one here. أتذهب إلى المسجد. You're asking someone, هل تذهب إلى المسجد, or أتذهب إلى المسجد. Are you going to the masjid? Muhammad, are you going to the masjid? This here is different. This here is speaking to someone that's in front of you, right? Which is known as second person, right? You're speaking to someone who's in front of you, right? The first two, if you noticed, when I said يذهب and تذهب, the first two is relating to someone that's not present or someone who you're not speaking to directly. If I say محمد يذهب إلى المسجد or عائشة تذهب إلى المطبخ, I'm not speaking to her directly, but rather مطبخ meaning kitchen, as we learned yesterday. This is not speaking to someone directly. This is speaking about someone, right? But the other two here, تفعل and تفعلين, this is related to someone that you're speaking to that's directly in front of you, or it could be over the phone, but you're speaking to them directly. أتذهب إلى المسجد, right? Are you going to the masjid? هل تذهب إلى المسجد? Next one, أتذهبين إلى المسجد or أتذهبين إلى المسجد, right? Because since we're not going to end on the word تذهبين, because we say أتذهبين إلى المسجد, we're gonna mention the haraka fatha. Okay. And lastly, so the second one I said أتذهبين إلى المسجد. Are you going أتذهبين إلى المطبخ? Right? Are you going to the kitchen? All right. Last one, أنا أذهب إلى المسجد or أنا أذهب إلى المطبخ. أنا is the same. The word أذهب, it doesn't have any jins, it doesn't have any gender. The word أذهب or the word أفعل, that صيغة أنا does not change whether there's a male speaking or female speaking. All right. So the only ones that change is if you're speaking to someone or if you're speaking about someone, right? The other one that doesn't change is also نحن, but we're not going to do that right now. We're going to stick with this small group of 5 different forms that we can put a verb in. That's all it is really. is forms that the verb takes. So when you see them in the exercise book, inshallah, that you understand why now it's yastayqidu and why before it was tastayqidu, because it's a simple changing of the form, because you're speaking about either a female, she is going, or you're speaking to someone, or you're speaking about yourself, right? You try another one. The ulama say that putting stuff in examples is the best way to learn. So, someone may read this for the first time and, it doesn't make sense. But the more examples that we do, the more you would understand. Okay? So, let's do another one. Yeah. So, we have this other one here. Yaknusu. Alright? So, we have the word yaknusu. So, likewise for yaknusu, we have yaknusu goes in yaf'alu. Well, yaf'ulu actually, right? The reason I'm not going to use the exact same form, because essentially all these verbs here that we're seeing right now, they all have their own form. Okay? They all have their own form. For example, yastayqidu will be or rather yaknusu, which is a simpler one, a shorter one. Yaknusu will actually be yaf'ulu. Okay? But we're not going to go into all that right now. That would come into its own class when we get into a higher level. Right now, I just want you guys to understand why the beginnings are changing. Why in the beginning sometimes it have ya. Why in the beginning sometimes it have ta. Why in the beginning sometimes it have alif. Or hamza, rather. Okay? So, we have the word yaknusu. Yaknusu would be in the same form of yaf'ulu, but we have yaf'alu here, so we're just going to go with that. Alright, then we have taknusu, which would be she cleans, or she sweeps, or she vacuums, right? Taf'alu, which will be taknusu again, or taf'ulu is really where it is, but I'm saying it so you can understand. Don't worry about the actual form right now, just worry about the beginning of the word. Okay, so we have the word taf'alu here, taknusu, which would be she cleans, as we said before. The other one now, taf'alu, which would be taknusu, which means you sweep, or you clean, or you vacuuming. Alright, speaking to a male person. If you are speaking to someone. The next one, teknusin. Let me make sure I circle this so you can follow it as teknusin, which is you female are sweeping or cleaning or vacuuming, right? And the last one we have here, eknusu, which will be I am sweeping. Sorry, let's put it into some examples. We have the word Muhammad yaknusu as-sajjada. Muhammad yaknusu as-sajjada. Muhammad is vacuuming the carpet, right? Aisha taknusu as-sajjada. Aisha is sweeping or vacuuming the carpet. Ataknusu sajada. Are you going to sweep the carpet? Are you going to vacuum the carpet? He's speaking to someone, a male. Ataknusina sajada. Ataknusina sajada. Are you sweeping the carpet? Are you sweeping the carpet? Are you going to sweep the carpet? Or are you going to sweep the carpet? Will be sataknusin. But asataknusin. Okay, talking about in the future. So ataknusina sajada. Are you sweeping the carpet? Are you vacuuming the carpet? Speaking to a female. And lastly, eknusa sajada. I am cleaning the carpet. Okay? So, let me know. Let me get some feedback, inshallah, because I know it's a little difficult. Sarf is one of the more advanced versions of Arabic language. So, I know some people studied Arabic before and and familiar with the changes, you know. So if you are, alhamdulillah. But if you know any persons are having any problems right now, please let me know so I could specify and I could explain. Any confusion right now? Everybody straight.
Also, just understand.
Okay, no problem.
Particularly, like there were some of the verbs there, and let us practice the conjugation from Hua down to Anna, inshallah.
That's great.
Cement it out, inshallah.
No problem. You know, that's exactly what I want to do right now. So let's do it from here. I will go outside. Now let your sisters do it with my missus here, and I'll do it with the brothers here, inshallah. Alright. Alright, so that was Musa, right? Assalamu alaikum, Musa.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alright, so do the exact same thing I was doing with this entire...
Fayaghsilu?
Yeah, fayaghsilu.
Huwa yaghsilu, hiya taghsilu, anta taghsilu, anti taghsilin, ana aghsilu, sorry.
Ahsant. Barakallahu feek. Alright.
Ayatul
Nadeem, you there? Not sure if Nadeem busy. If you're speaking, your mic off. Alright. Ala. Alright. Abdul Noor.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well,
you can do it with the word yakwi.
Yakwi. Yakwi. Takwi. Takwi. Takwin. Akwi.
Ahsant. Alright. Let me see who else we have here. Abdul Jalil.
السلام عليكم أستاذ.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته يا شيخ، كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله.
الحمد لله. Alright. يشاهد.
نعم. هو يشاهد. هي تشاهد. هي تشاهد.
أحسنت.
أنت تشاهد. أنت
تشاهد.
أنت تشاهد. أنت تشاهد.
أنت تشاهدين.
أنت تشاهدون.
تشاهدين.
تشاهد. أنت تشاهدين. أنا الشاهد.
أشاهد.
أنا أشاهد.
And that's no fault of yours, eh? As I said before, the correct thing is to really have the actual form on the screen right now. So yushahidu is actually in the form of yufa'ilu. Yufa'ilu. So if you noticed, our brother Abdul Jalil, he was saying yashahidu or tashahidu. And that's only because on the screen right now we have the form of the word yaf'alu. So yaf'alu would be for something like yadhhabu. Yaf'alu yadhhabu is in that wazn, in that scale, right? In that scale. The real thing to do is to have the exact form, but it will take too long for me to switch from that form back to this form, because it's pages, right, on this book here. And Sarf in itself is its own science, but the idea is, if you look at the beginning of the word that we have here, like for example, the word yushahidu, just keep that dhamma on the beginning of the word and just follow the entire column in such, right? So for example, yushahidu, even though we have the word here, yafalu. You guys want to keep it with the dhamma and just follow along with that dhamma coming straight down. So yushahidu, tushahidu, tushahidina, and ushahidu, like that, right? Anybody else want to take a try? That didn't call yet. Let's see. How do I call people then? Try not to come off of the screen so that it doesn't. Isaac Lachman. Isaac is Ishaq. Assalamu alaikum. Brother Isaac.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, go by Isaac or Ishaq?
Ishaq.
Okay, I was wondering. I know I saw a posted him Ishaq in the group before. Alright, no problem. Alright, brother Ishaq. So what I'll do, I'll go back to one of the earlier ones, especially one of the words that we just started learning is yastayqidu. Try that one.
Yeah. تفضل.
Yeah, تفضل.
يستيقظ. تستيقظ. تستيقظ. تستيقظين. أستيقظ.
أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. Alright. Last one. We have. I think that was everybody actually. Let me see. Abu Bilal. Abu Bilal. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
أحسنت. ما شاء الله. موجود. Let me see if I can get a nice one. A new one. Let's see. We have here. And I do one of the older ones that we haven't done yet. We've up here. Alright, now. We did this before, but we're gonna put it back through again, right? The word يتوضأ.
نعم. يتوضأ. تتوضأ. تتوضئين. تتوضأ.
Say that one more time. First one.
يتوضأ. تتوضأ. تتوضأ. تتوضئين.
أحسنت.
أتوضأ.
أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. Alright, so alhamdulillah, I understand it. Alright, so that's essentially what it is there. I'm gonna go back to, unless is this she finished? Alright? Yeah. Okay. They got to do all three? Is this only first one? Yushahidu? Okay, let him do that first. I'll come back. Alright, so now with that out of the way, we will return to the book, the Arabiyyah Bayna Yadayk book, to finish the remainder of the book. We almost finished with that chapter there. Chapter 4. Chapter 4. Chapter 5 here. Where is it? We're like midway. Yeah, there we go. Alhamdulillah, we almost finished. We'll be halfway through the book. Finish? Alhamdulillah. You having problems? Alhamdulillah. No, it's finished. I want to go back to the book. Okay. Yes, it's okay. Alright, get back into the Arabiyyah Bayna Yadayk book, inshallah. Alright, so with the Arabiyyah Bayna Yadayk book, we're going to return to it. Alhamdulillah, we're halfway through the book. As I said yesterday, we're going to finish the... we have one last exercise here. And we just want to have the brothers Actually, no, the sisters, if you do it as well, no problem. Okay, so I'll go back outside. But do the book though. We're going to page 114. Right there. Okay. This is actually the exact same examples we were doing earlier, but they're gonna put it in. Okay. So, brother Abdul Jalil, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Ustad.
Do the page before it and that page. No, I'll do it again. So we're gonna do the page before again and this page, because just to reiterate and to make sure that it's thabit, inshallah. So we have the words here. I would ask the questions so that it goes a little faster. Alright, so I would ask you to say the first three. ماذا تفعل? Right, you weren't here yesterday. This here is a conversation between me and you, right? And we have here the word yaknusu, right? We have the word, I'll use the example actually. We have here the word yaqra'u, okay? We have the word here yaqra'u and the word here al-Quran. So the word here yaqra'u and al-Quran, these two words we're going to put in a sentence. I'm going to ask you a regular sentence, a pretty standard sentence. ماذا تفعل? What are you doing? Right? And you're going to answer me, say, أقرأ القرآن, using the vocabulary that we have here. Alright, inshallah. And then I would ask you it in the female form, ماذا تفعلين? And you're going to say the same thing. For example, the word here تقرأ and al-Quran is there. You're going to say أقرأ القرآن. Understood? فهمت?
فهمت.
طيب. Alright, so this is the words here. ماذا تفعل؟
أكسن الغرفة.
أكنس الغرفة. طيب الحمد لله. ماذا تفعلين؟
أكسن الغرفة.
أحسنت. ماذا تفعل؟
أشاهد التلفاز.
أشاهد التلفاز. أحسنت. ماذا تفعلين؟
أشاهد التلفاز.
أحسنت. Last one. ماذا تفعل؟
أقرأ الصحيفة.
صحيفة. ماذا تفعلين؟
أقرأ الصحيفة.
أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. Alright. Brother Ishaq, assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alright, it's the same thing, inshallah. ماذا تفعل؟
أكوي الملابس.
أحسنت. ماذا تفعلين؟
أكوي الملابس.
أحسنت. Next one. ماذا تفعل؟
أغسل الطباق.
أحمد. أحسنت. أطباق. Alright. ماذا تفعلين؟
أغسل الطباق. أطباق.
أحسنت. So طبق أطباق. طبق is plate. أطباق is plates or dishes rather. Dishes is a better word. ماذا تفعل؟
أقرأ الكتاب.
أحسنت. ماذا تفعلين؟
أقرأ الكتاب.
أحسنت. Barakallahu feek. And we're gonna move on to here. So we're gonna have two brothers speak to each other. I would have brother Abdul Noor and brother Musa do the first two, for the first three, inshallah. Alright, so Abdul Noor will be the first one. Mother Teknusu. Alright, for example, we have here the word Yaknusu and the word Ghurfatul Julus, right? So it's a similar thing that we were doing before. You're gonna ask the person what they're doing, or Mother Teknusu. Alright, so in this case, what you will do, right? We have the word seen here. We know the word seen here is an article that indicates that this action is going to be in the future. All right. Sulfur is similar to it. Sulfur is something that will happen far into the future. Seen is something that happens close into the future. Like, for example, if I have a broom in my hand, a vacuum in my hand, you wouldn't say ماذا سوف تكنس. Is not wrong, but incorrect in the sense, like, you wouldn't really use that, right? Because sawfa is something happening far in the future. But rather they would say ماذا ستكنس, like what you're gonna sweep or what you're gonna vacuum, right? In that case. So we have these words here, and we have the response here as we saw. سأكنس غرفة الجلوس. I am going to clean the غرفة الجلوس, right? So that's essentially it. So we have brother Abdul Noor and brother Musa. Assalamu alaikum. Alright, so you guys will switch, right? So the first one, you will ask the first one. So brother Abdul Noor, you will do the first one, and Musa will do the second one, okay? No, in this case, we're going to do the word yaghsilu here. Let me remove this actually. Mm-hmm. You heard him?
Say that.
Yeah, you say this now.
Oh, I didn't hear. Sorry, I got distracted by my chair.
No problem.
Sa'agsilul malabis.
Ahsant. Alright, now your turn, brother Musa. You start it off.
Ask the question.
Yeah, there's a question here.
Mother Sa'agsilu.
So takwi in this case here.
Are you going to the next question?
Yeah, next question.
I got to question every question. Oh, sorry. Mother Sa'akwi.
Sa'akwisu. Sa'akwi. Kurfa malabis.
No, this one here.
Sa'akwi malabis.
Right, al malabis. Because the word ghurfa means room, right? Yeah. Alright, next one. Switch again.
ماذا سألسي؟
ستصلي.
ماذا ستصلي؟
أحسنت.
أصلي الفجر.
أحسنت. بارك الله فيكم. Alright, brother Abdul Jalil and brother Abu Bilal. Alright, ready? So we have this one here.
ماذا ستقرأ؟
سأقرأ القرآن.
أحسنت. Next one.
ماذا ستشاهد؟
سأشاهد التلفاز.
أحسن. سأشاهد التلفاز. Nice. Very good. Next one. Switch.
ماذا سأغسل؟
ستغسل.
ماذا ستغسل؟
Okay, I'm speaking to
عفوا.
him, right? There you go. Alhamdulillah.
نعم.
Ahsant.
تغسل أطباق.
أطباق. تغسل أطباق. أحسنت. بارك الله فيكم. Alright, so nice. So that's essentially it there. Let's see if my finished. Nah, they're still going on. Alright, so here, let me see. They're on the word Aksido. Alright, now that's the last thing I think. Let's see. Alright. Finished?
No.
Which one are you on there?
Last one.
Okay, last one? Alright, so the only last one there. Question. Would you all prefer to have class the time we have in class now, or prefer to have class directly after Fajr? Another question for all, yeah, inshallah.
The time we have that now.
The time you have it now, yeah.
Yeah, the time we have it.
Alright, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I just want to make sure because I know a few brothers, unfortunately, they can't make, they have to list it online, you know. So, but alhamdulillah, no, I rather the time we have it now, honestly, myself, because sometimes after Fajr, you read Quran, you want to take a little sleep, you know, people let's do other things now. So yeah, alhamdulillah, that's nice. طيب. Alright. So you finish, right?
Here,
Okay, alhamdulillah. Alright, so we're on the last one here. And this last one here, as we could see, as adatuna, as our custom, is مخلص التراكيب, which is the essentially all the words that we have learned and all the phrases that we have learned in a very concise form and easy place to find. Alhamdulillah. There's one thing that book one does excellently. I'll actually take a screenshot of this and I'll send it into the group. And I'll send you homework, inshallah, today as well. Realize I didn't give any homework today because, you know, alhamdulillah, we did all the exercises together anyway. Alright? So we have here first one. اقرأوا القرآن. Notice the beginning of each of these words, of these verbs, right? And I guess any sisters, alhamdulillah, they probably figured out the اقرأوا, تقرأوا, تقرأين, and stuff like that. When you hear it, it sounds weird. When you put it in examples, it's become easier. When you do it for yourself, it become mathboot, it become established. Right? So we have here اقرأوا القرآن, أكنسوا الغرفة, وشاهدوا التلفاز, اقرأوا الصحيفة, أغسلوا الملابس. Right? Now we know اقرأوا القرآن means I read the Quran. أكنسوا الغرفة means I clean or I sweep or I vacuum the غرفة. وشاهدوا التلفاز means I watch television. اقرأوا الصحيفة, which means that I read the newspaper. As I said yesterday, you could also say jarida, which is also newspaper. Sahifa is a more literal translation of newspaper because literally means like it comes from suhuf, you know, safha. It comes from the word safha, safhatun, which is page, right? أغسل الملابس, which is I clean my clothes, or I wash my clothes, right? I wash my clothes rather, not I clean, I wash, right? Like the word ghusl. Okay, so next word we have here is أقرأ القرآن again, but we have a scene in the beginning of it, and as I mentioned, the scene, this is an article that indicates something that would happen in the near future. It is the difference between seen and sawfa. Sawfa means that something would happen far into the future. If I say sawfa اقرأ القرآن, this is correct. It's fine. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to read it soon. Right? If somebody asks me what you're going to do, they see the Quran in my hand, what are you going to do? And I say sawfa اقرأ القرآن, it's strange to say that. and you will see sawfa and you will see seen in the Quran. When you see sawfa in the Quran, it means something that's going to happen far into the future, and when you see seen, it means something that's going to happen soon. All right. Maybe as a story, or maybe as a situation, right? Like Yawm al-Qiyamah, something like that. So for ta'lamuna, something like that. Okay. You have أكنس so سأقرأ القرآن سأكنس الغرفة سأشاهد التلفاز سأقرأ صحيفة سأغسل الملابس. Next one that we have here is ماذا. We learned that ماذا is the version of what that we put in front of verbs. We don't say ما تفعل. We don't say ما تكنس. We don't say ما تشاهد. We say ماذا تفعل. We say ماذا تكنس, which means what are you going to do or what are you doing, but not what are you going to do. What are you going to do? We say ماذا ستفعل. Sorry. So ماذا تفعل, what are you doing? ماذا تكنس, what you're cleaning. ماذا تشاهد, what you're watching. ماذا ستفعل. No, ماذا تفعلين. We have ماذا تفعلين. So there's the female words here. So it's switched up, right? So we have the male version and the female version. So to get familiar with it. ماذا تفعلين. ماذا تكنسين. ماذا تشاهدين. طيب. We have here now, similarly, the addition of the article seen, which means that something will be happening in the future, مستقبل. ماذا ستفعل, what are you going to do. ماذا ستكنس, what are you going to clean or going to vacuum or going to sweep. ماذا ستشاهد, what are you going to watch. ماذا ستفعلين, what are you going to do. Female is speaking to the female, speaking to her, she's in front of you. Alright. ماذا ستكنسين. ماذا ستشاهدين. طيب. Next we have here, we have the word mata, and we have a verb here, تذهب, and ila, which means to, and we have a few أماكن. بعض الأماكن. أماكن, which means places. مكان, place. أماكن, places. There are a few places here. So متى تذهب إلى المدرسة. When are you going to the madrasa. متى تذهب إلى البيت. When are you going to the house. متى تذهب إلى الطبيب. إلى الطبيب. Notice the difference. I'm not saying إلى الطبيب. I said إلى الطبيب. And notice also right here we have a shadda over the ta. We have a shadda over the ta for tabib. So that's why it's pronounced like that. إلى الطبيب and not إلى الطبيب. If someone says إلى الطبيب for now in مستوى أول, in the first level that we're on right now, I'm not gonna obviously make a big deal, but I will correct you inshallah so that you say properly. You know, this also goes back to the Quran and lam shamsiya, lam qamariya. You know, the lam shamsiya are the lambs that we don't pronounce. Lam qamariya are the lambs that we do pronounce. طيب. Then we have متى تذهب إلى المسجد. Alright, متى تذهب إلى المسجد. And then we have متى تذهب إلى المهندس. متى تذهب إلى المهندس. And متى تذهب إلى العم. عم being uncle, right? And muhandis being engineer, but we know this. Alright. And now we have the times. This is the first time we learned times. We did times yesterday. Inshallah, any of the brothers who missed it, yes, follow the video. And if you're doing the Pimsla, you're familiar with times. You have been using it. You've been seeing times for a little while now, for a long time now. أذهب, so he's saying that I'm going. أذهب الساعة أذهب الساعة واحدة. This is going to be ساعة. Alright, they don't have the fatha there, but that's what it's supposed to be. And this is also a grammatical rule. This is i'rab. This is i'rab, which is مفعول به. أذهب الساعة الواحدة. أذهب الساعة الثانية. right? الساعة واحدة. As we said yesterday, we're gonna use the word واحدة ثانية. We're not gonna say 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. We're gonna say this the first hour, the second hour, the third hour, and you're speaking like this, right? Notice the endings. This is صفة منصوف. الساعة الواحدة أو واحدة. I would say just for you to understand. The صفة منصوف. You wouldn't say الساعة واحد or الساعة ثاني, right? We're gonna say أذهب الساعة واحدة. أذهب الساعة ثانية, right? Here in Saudi Arabia, you would say الساعة اثنين. You would see people say 2, like they would say 2, but it's incorrect, right? Or maybe it is correct, but it's incorrect in the sense of classical Arabic. It's probably correct in any like more standard way of speaking, because even us in English, we used to say the first hour, the second hour, third hour, but people nowadays say like, you know, we say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right? أذهب الساعة واحدة. أذهب الساعة الثانية. أذهب الساعة الثالثة. أذهب الساعة الرابعة. أذهب الساعة الخامسة. أذهب الساعة السادسة. And notice the shaddas. Alright. Next we have here some verbs, some sentences. أصلي الفجر. أصلي الفجر في المسجد. أصلي الفجر في المسجد. أقرأ القرآن في المصلى. أقرأ القرآن في المصلى. أشاهد التلفاز في الغرفة. أشاهد التلفاز في الغرفة. أغسل الأطباق في المطبخ. أغسل الأطباق في المطبخ. أغسل الملابس في الحمام. أغسل الملابس في الحمام. And lastly we have أين تصلي الفجر. أين تقرأ القرآن. أين تغسل الملابس. Somebody coming in now. Okay. Alright. So what I will do now, I will let the sisters and the brothers read the same thing I just read just now. I would choose one person to read a column, a section. You wouldn't call each person to read one word, but a person to read a section. I will do that till the end, and then we would end class there, inshallah. I'll go outside so sisters can have a chance to do that as well. All right. Brother Micah, assalamu alaikum. Micah, you there?
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
حياكم الله. موجود الحمد لله.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
All right, so
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
we do it here. No problem, inshallah. We're gonna make use of some verbs here, and we're gonna put the verbs that we just learned in sentences that we have here. So essentially, let's gonna read what we have here on the screen. But I want you to read with fahm, which was with understanding. So اقرأ بفهم. اقرأ with understanding, okay? So inshallah, we have the word here, we have these sentences here. So let's read this column here. بإذن الله تعالى. تفضل. Brother Micah.
Yeah. You mentioned that one. We were going to read.
No, I want you to read.
Section or something here, but
you can see it.
Oh, you want me to read with you? No, I'm not seeing anything.
You're not seeing the screen?
Yeah, right. I'll see it in it.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'll see it now. Bismillah. أقرأ. أقنص.
No. Sorry, yeah. It's like this. You seen it? اقرأوا القرآن. For example, if you
No, I ain't seen the spin again. Oh, okay. Alright. أقرأ القرآن.
أحسنت.
أقرأ النصوص. أقرأ النصوص خوفة.
أحسنت.
أشاهد تلفاز. أشاهد تلفاز.
أحسنت. Like that, yes.
أشاهد تلفاز.
أحسنت.
أقرأ الصحيفة. أقرأ الصحيفة.
أحسنت. أغسل
ملابس.
أحسن.
أغسل الملابس.
أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. ما شاء الله عليك. Alright, so that's exactly what I want from the other brothers. بإذن الله. بارك الله فيك. جزاك الله خير. Let me see. Brother Musa. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Nicola Matsa?
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Sa'aqra'ul Quran, sa'aknusul grufa, sa'shahidul tulfaz, sa'aqra'u sohifa,
صحيفة.
صحيفة. سأقرأ الصحيفة. سأغسل الملابس.
أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. عبد النور. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
الحمد لله. هاي تفضل.
القرآن تفعله.
So they're going to do ماذا and the words there.
ماذا تفعل؟ ماذا تقصن؟ تقنص.
أحسنت.
ماذا تقنص؟ ماذا تشاهد؟ ماذا تفعلين؟ ماذا تقسم؟
تكنسين.
ماذا تقنص؟ نسين. ماذا تشاهدين؟
أحسن. So remember, this one here is questions. So when you're asking questions in Arabic, even in English, you know, you have a little you have a slight inclination in your inflection. Sorry, not inflection in your speech. You know, like ماذا تفعل. You know, when you're asking, right? It's not as dry. There's more of a. It has a flexion in your speech there. You know. So that's just that. So for the next one here, we have brother Abu Bilal. Did I call Abu Bilal before? I don't think so.
نعم. ماذا ستفعل؟ ماذا ستكنس؟ ماذا ستشاهد؟ ماذا ستفعلين؟ ماذا ستكنسين؟ ماذا تشاهدين؟
ستشاهدين. طيب أحسن بارك الله فيك. Brother Abdul Jalil.
بسم الله. متى تذهب إلى المدرسة؟
أحسن.
متى تذهب إلى البيت؟ متى تذهب إلى الطبيب؟ متى تذهب إلى المسجد؟ متى تذهب إلى المهندس؟ متى تذهب إلى العم؟
Right, nice. أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. Remember the word عم, it means uncle, your paternal uncle. Brother Ishaq. Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
ما شاء الله. تفضل.
Do you mind the gospel in the back? Must we stop playing some gospel?
سبحان الله. الله يعينك.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna move. نعم أنا مستعد.
طيب تفضل.
أذهب الساعة الواحدة.
So say أذهب الساعة. So it's supposed to have a shadda here. We don't have it, but it's similar to how it's have it here.
أذهب الساعة الواحدة.
ساعة الواحدة.
الساعة الواحدة.
أحسنت.
أذهب الساعة الثانية.
أحسنت.
أذهب الساعة الثالثة.
أحسنت.
ثالثة.
أحسنت ما شاء الله.
أذهب الساعة الرابعة.
أحسنت ما شاء الله.
أذهب الساعة الخامسة.
ما شاء الله.
أذهب الساعة السادسة.
ما شاء الله. اللهم بارك اللهم بارك. بارك الله فيك. That's perfect. Alhamdulillah. All right. I feel like somebody else came there. Let's see. Yeah, Abu Bilal. السلام عليكم. مرة أخرى. تفضل.
أصلي الفجر.
أصلي الفجر.
أصلي الفجر. أقرأ القرآن.
Second. أصلي الفجر في and you have to put the المسجد.
أصلي الفجر المسجد.
أصلي الفجر في المسجد.
نعم. أقرأ القرآن في المصلى.
Okay, so because you're gonna be continuing the sentence, you would have to say the ending of the words here, or the words in the second column. You would have to say because we're gonna continue the sentence. If you're gonna stop, like you say Usalli al-Fajr, that's correct. But because we're gonna continue the sentence, we have to say the word in the column.
أشاهد التلفاز في الغرفة.
أحسنت.
أغسل الأطباق في المطبخ.
أغسل. مرة ثانية.
أغسل الأطباق في المطبخ. أغسل ملابس الحمام.
ملابس في
الحمام. نعم.
أحسنت بارك الله فيك. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, and lastly we have Brother Micah. Assalamu alaikum. Alright, let's finish it here. Closing it off. تفضل.
I seen your screen.
You not seen it?
My book I kind of distance away from. No, my book I kind of distance away from.
You're not seeing the screen right now?
No, I don't know if anybody has seen it, but I not seen it for sure.
Interesting. Alright. Try
Muhammad is Zanjanet was seen. And
I think you have to swipe. You have to swipe to go back to the screen. I think you probably swipe off. I'm not sure.
No problem. Let me see.
It's fine, inshallah. I'll just have to ask somebody else, inshallah. Brother Abdul Jalil.
نعم.
تفضل.
أين تصلي الفجر؟ أين تقرأ القرآن؟ أين تغسل الملابس؟
أحسنت. بارك الله فيك. I'm not sure what happened to Brother Mike with his video. Alhamdulillah, that is it there. I'll go back to the sisters now. You finished? Okay. Alright. So, Alhamdulillah, as the...
Sir, I don't know if...
I'm listening.
Yeah, I just asked, I don't know if that's still right. I've seen his screen now, so I don't know if it was just me just now. Because I now seen the screen again.
Okay.
Now come back on. I don't know if it was just me there.
Yeah, it was.
Or everybody else. Or
it was just you
that
for some reason. I'm not sure why. What's happening? Because I see a circle in it right now. So when I circle it, the brothers could see. So if you want, you could go again. You could go ahead. Because I would like it. I can get some practice. تفضل.
No, the screen now boy.
عجيب والله.
Yeah, the screen come back.
عجيب. Subhanallah, it's strange. No problem. Try again then. Go ahead.
That's fine. That's fine. Hold on. Right now. Hold on. Alright, that same screen by zooming up right there. Is the last part of the read?
Yeah, right there.
Usalli.
Aina.
Which part? Which part exactly?
Right here. I circle it.
Aina. Aina to Sully. Aina to Sully, but the screen going, the screen going again.
It's fine, inshallah. It's fine. No problem. You might have to use your book, inshallah. Like, because your screen giving some problems. You might have to use a book, inshallah.
The book just actually, the book just have the sun's kind of at the sun. I can't reach it right now.
There's no problem. There's no problem at all. There's no problem. May Allah Azza wa Jalla make it easy for all of us. It's fine. Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khair. Alright, so this is the end of the class here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Any questions?